All right, we are gonna do a tour of the garden for Uncle Mike and David. Say hi, Aang. Say hi, Uncle Mike and David. Fifi. Oh, Fifi, they're not here. He says, where are they? You just said them. I know. They're not here. We're gonna take a video for them. All right, come on, guys. We're gonna show them around the garden. Okay, so I'm using my new gimbal, and I'm using my new microphone with it to see if it sounds better. So actually I'm going to pause and see if that works. Okay, we are going to do a tour of the garden. I've got my new gimbal and my microphone, and so we are going to show you around, and Angus is going to help, maybe, and Fiona's going to come too, but this is a tour of the garden for Michael and David. So first we're going to start with my dahlia. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. That is just beautiful. I love it. I think that's Fairway Spur. I'll have to look that up. I'm not really sure. I didn't label these very well this spring. But then there's another one coming up over here. Check this out. Look at that guy. He's so pretty. Yeah, he's gorgeous. That might be Cafe au Lait. I'm not really sure, but I'll have to look that one up too. Anyhow, and then let's see. I want to show you, David. This is your sedum, Autumn Joy sedum. So I think it's going to be really pretty in, I don't know, just a few weeks. It should be starting to bloom really nicely. Here are my Goldsturm, I think. This is my Rudbeckia Goldsturm, I'm pretty sure. And then if you come over here, here's your geranium, which is, it bloomed a little bit this year, not a whole lot, but I think it'll do, better next year. These are some more Rudbeckia, and then you can see some of my hydrangea in the background. I think that's called Diamond Rouge. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I gotta look at the tags, but yeah, it's really pretty. And you can see my not Irish eyes. This is my Bells of Ireland, which is looking nice. And I've got one of my snapdragons that's just starting. This is the monk's hood that has not bloomed. We'll see if it blooms this year. Looks like it probably will. We'll check it out. Then down here is more of my snapdragons. And then look at your lavender, duh. Yeah, it's doing really well. So we'll see if it overwinters. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Some of my containers that are too heavy for, they're too heavy for this rod over here. It kept pulling it down, so I've given up on that. Here is the David Phlox that's about to bloom. I'm very excited about that. And then you can see my apple tree, which is getting big. That's pretty fun. And then over here, we've got some more stuff. This is my Rudbeckia Cappuccino, which looks beautiful. And more Rudbeckias. This is, I think, Pinky Winky. I'll have to check, but that's another one of my great hydrangeas. Nice grass. And more Rudbeckia, Echinacea. Here's more of your sedum. And my rhododendron. Hopefully that will do better next year. It didn't do so hot this year. Okay, I'm going to take you over to the veggie garden, so we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, here we are over at your container. And as you can see, we've still got our kale, which I should really pick. It's doing pretty well. I've got a dahlia in there. I've got this little tiny tomato, which it's got some tomatoes on it, and they're yellow, but frankly, they're not getting very big. I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen. There's a dahlia right there, and then these in front are zinnias, so hopefully they'll bloom. And then this is Roma tomato, which is, I got one out of it, although it had some blossom end rot. So I don't know if they're all going to do that or what. And then there's another dahlia and another kale. So let's show you over here is the new garden. And look, all the grass has come in. Isn't that cool? That happened really fast. Unfortunately, Dan actually spread some grass into that bed, so I'm gonna have to be picking some grass out of it. But I just think this looks really pretty, and next year it'll look really nice. Not a lot going on except for the hydrangeas. Those are a little lime, and a little lime, and a little lime. And then a Blue Point juniper, I believe that is. And then some smaller junipers and over here. So in the wintertime, it'll have some nice interest. And then this is, I'm going to call it my purple garden because everything's going to be either purple or blue. But let's go over here to the veggie garden. So over there, that is more of my rhubarb that's starting to come back up. And then, of course, my zinnias along the side, which really haven't been doing all that well. A few of them are doing okay, but I don't know. I haven't been very happy with them. They got a lot of bugs this year. I think I need to do a better job of mulching and of soil preparation for next year. Because, like, look at that. It's just kind of lopsided. I don't quite know why that's happening to all of them. But I don't know. We'll have to see if we can get that to not happen next year. So, all right, we're going to go into the veggie garden now. So here are these are my snap peas that are kind of, I mean, they're still doing a little bit, but to be honest, they're starting to really get tired. But my cukes are actually starting to grow. So I'm pretty psyched about that. And these are my cherry tomatoes. These are Sungolds. I just picked a bunch, but they're coming out. And then over here are my Matt's Wild cherry tomatoes, which are pretty good. I like the Sungolds better, to be honest. My beans are going crazy. I think I have 3 different types of beans, although I've only seen 2. But we've got a ton of beans, so that's actually pretty cool. Let's see, and then over here we've got my more cukes that are finally starting to grow. I don't know if they're really going to make it, because I feel like they should already be, I should be harvesting cukes by now, but I'm not. This is some of my romaine lettuce that is starting to bolt, so I should pick it before it's no good. I've got some more lettuces over there, and some flowers. My flowers are doing nice still. Those Sweet Williams in the back, those are really nice. Let's see, I'm going to show you over here. Let's see, so we've got one zook that is seemingly doing okay, although, again, I should be harvesting zucchini by now, and it's not doing anything. And then a little cuke right there that's not really doing much of anything. I've got a little cilantro, and then that zook died. So I'm not sure what happened to my zucchini. Usually they're going crazy by now. Here are some new lettuces that I just planted. I figured since I had to pull a bunch of other ones, I just planted some starts. So that'll be nice. I've got some red peppers going right here. And then my corn, which seems to be doing pretty well. It's got some stalks, or it's got some little corn cobs. You can see one of them back there. So hopefully they'll taste good. And then over this way we've got a ton of cosmos, those orange ones that I picked for you guys. We've got just tons of them. And another type of cosmos, I don't even know what this is, but it's gonna bloom soon. We've got another pepper in there, some more cosmos and some zinnias and more peppers. And I'm trying an experiment with, you can see I've just mulched with clippings from the yard. And I don't know if that's a smart thing to do or not. There's my eggplant over there. I don't know. I'm just going to try it and see what happens. I just want to keep the weeds down, and nothing's doing spectacular, so I figure it can't really hurt. So here is another cosmos right there that came up, and this is the Love Lies Bleeding right here, this pink. And then these are, I think these are those tobacco plant that I stole from traps, and they've reseeded, which is kind of cool. And I forget what that is in the back. And then the way back are some beans. Those are kidney beans and I think black beans, but definitely some kidney beans, which you can see. And I'm going to let them dry on the vine. And then when they're nice and dry, I will pick them and take them out of their pods and keep them for dried beans. And all of my oregano, which is just ridiculous, I gotta cut that back. My strawberries, which basically feed the chipmunks, I got one and they got the rest. Over here is a pumpkin, which probably won't do anything this year. I don't know. It's growing, but I think it's got a couple of blossoms on it, but to be honest, I feel like we're already in mid-August and I don't really know that it's gonna actually fruit. But I don't know, we'll see. I did more of that clippings for compost just to see. Some of my nasturtiums, like they should be blooming by now, and nothing's blooming, so I'm a little bummed about that, but what can you do? So here is one of my tomatoes. This is what is that? A supersonic. And I do have one, if you can see down there. That one's coming along, so I'm going to pick that maybe even tomorrow and let it ripen in the house before a critter gets it. This is my ground cherry, which I just picked. And you got to be quick with those because the critters get in there and they love them. Here's a Roma. I picked some Romas. They were pretty good. So hopefully we will have some more Romas soon. Here are some of my sunflowers. Oh, I'll show you. I put a picture on Facebook of this one sunflower that escaped, and I'll show you where he is. But this is my sunflower patch, which really was not very robust this year because critters stole and ate most of the seeds, and then the seeds that didn't get eaten have ended up in other places, which we will show you. Okay, so I'm gonna take you now. Oh, look at these through the fence. You can see these are called Summer Sweet. Oh, I wish you could smell them. They're so good. I have 4 of them and I have to figure out where I'm gonna put them. But I got them for $11 each at Agway. They were on a big sale, so they don't look very good, but they smell amazing, and I just can't wait to plant them somewhere. They get like 4 feet by 5 feet or 5 feet by 4 feet. Okay, I'm going to turn this off and then I will meet you back down at the roadside garden. Okay, we're down at the roadside garden, so we'll just do a quick tour. Some of my daylilies are doing a rebloom, which is kind of nice to see. One of my grasses is growing. Let's see, here's one of my PG hydrangeas, which is looking very nice, and my coneflowers are looking great. I cut back most of my daisies. They kind of went by, as did my iris, but that's okay. The foliage it's starting to die back. I'll probably have to cut that back soon, but I don't mind right now. Oh, you can't really see it right now, but my hibiscus actually has been looking beautiful. In the morning, I think it's better. I'll have to see if I can get a picture of a hibiscus. And here's my false sunflower. That's looking good. And my spirea, my grasses. Oh, and there's my watchman hollyhock. Whoop, looking pretty nice. More hydrangeas and more of my coneflowers and more lilies and my phlox and my grasses. I think that looks nice. I like that right there. And then another hydrangea. Hydrangeas are looking great. They've gotten so nice and full. I'll step back a little bit. You can kind of see, look at that. That's beautiful. And some of my lilies are still blooming. I gotta cut them back a little bit. I think that's my winterberry. I think it's winterberry. Actually, I need to make sure that I'm right on that. I feel like I looked that up and That might not be right. Anyway, and then my Monarda, it's kind of going by, but, and my daisies. These daisies were looking really nice, but I gotta cut them back. They're all pretty much dead by now. More hydrangea and phlox. There's my one, Russian sage that I kept there, but I think I mentioned I'm gonna move him, and the others I moved to my purple garden. So, then more of my helianthus, the fall sunflower, my fleece flower that's still doing strong. This thing I just can't get over. That's really probably about 8 feet tall. We'll go to the other side. You can see it's almost crowding out this hydrangea. And then these daylilies are about done. And then there's my monster. He looks great. I gotta cut him back, but that's my Japanese willow. Ugh, I love him. Okay. So there's Ned's property. I miss Ned. All right, we're gonna go this way around to the front and take a look at the garden from this side. All right, so let's see. We've got just some geranium and my irises that are past. And then, okay, look at this thing. Look at him. He's huge. I'm like halfway into the street, and he is just enormous. And the bees love him. And then there's some phlox. And this area is a little messy, but I don't mind. I'm going to move that Russian sage over here. I think I'm going to clear this area, put it here. I think it'll be nicer. And there's the ditch area that needs to be weeded. But it actually, the foliage down there is for evening primrose. It's that yellow flower that comes out in the spring or early summer. It's really pretty, and it's filled in pretty nicely there, so it actually is doing its job. But I've got some weeds over here that I gotta deal with. And then there's my goat's beard that I cut back, and these are my Joe Pye weed in front of some more of those lilies. And then in the very front are those are more of my daylilies. Those look nice. More of the helianthus and my hydrangea, my baptisia. That looks great. Look at how huge that thing is. And then I've got some more little phlox in there, and my purple coneflowers. Oh, there's the crazy garden in the background. So I haven't obviously planted it yet. The only thing in there is that one azalea that is super bright pink. So that's staying, and then I've got to figure out what else goes in there. My other baptisia, and let's see. And then these are hollyhocks that will hopefully bloom next year. So this area has gotten overgrown. I'm gonna have to weed it out. Oh, here's I think this is the anise hyssop that you gave me. Look at that. Check it out. Whoops. Check it out. That's gorgeous. Oh, that looks so nice. I hadn't seen it blooming yet. There's my white swan coneflower. And these are, of course, more purple coneflowers that, if you notice, they're kind of lighter. I think they've bred a little bit with the white swans. So, and then in the background is the hibiscus again that tomorrow morning that one will bloom. And they're huge, they're like dinner plate size. More of my coneflowers. And then, Marina Meerberg is running for state rep, and actually today was the primary, so I'll hopefully find out in a little while if she made it onto the ballot. She was a write-in candidate. So let's see, more of my black-eyed Susans, and then here are my green envy, I think these are echinacea. These are the ones with the little green tips. I think those are so pretty. And my Irish eyes, which I'm letting them go to seed, and I'm going to grab that seed and cultivate them for next year. This is another fleece flower, that humongous one that I showed you just a little while ago. This fleece flower is going to get that big in a few years. More of my echinacea, and then Then the showstopper, if you can see it over here, is my lonely little sunflower that has decided to bloom right here at the road. I just discovered him a few days ago and I was like, I think that's a sunflower, and sure enough it bloomed, but look at where he is. He's right in the ditch. So you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, and this area is just kind of, I'm not really doing much of anything with it at this point, just kind of letting it go. And let's see. All right, I'm going to pause it and then I'll show you the front of the house. Okay, we're back, and this is next to the driveway. So that's a big weed patch, but out in the corner you can see those are more of my willows that I have 2 of them there, and I think I'm going to take one and move it to a different spot. But anyway, this area I really didn't do anything with, but the front of this looks nice. I've got some more echinaceas, some little lime hydrangeas, a little bit of phlox, although this area is tricky with the sun, so I'm going to do some moving around this coming year and see. And then the plan is to actually make this part into garden, so this whole area I think is going to end up being garden, but I'm not going to get to that for a while. So, and then my pot needs to be replanted. So then this is the front of the house, which is looking pretty overgrown, but I don't know, I kind of like it. So there's Guacamole, and he is really in his glory. I've got some of my Euchera and what is that? Lady's Mantle. That's kind of gone by. I'll have to pull that out. Oh, and this is your Japanese anemone, which hasn't done anything yet, so I don't know if maybe next year it'll bloom. Not really sure. Let's see, this is my goat's beard that probably needs to be cut back. Lily, another one of my hostas. And yeah, everything in here is just kind of crazy right now. And there's my limelight hydrangea, which loves this spot. I mean, look how big that thing is. He absolutely loves that spot. So, and we've got a rhododendron, lots and lots of geranium that really needs to be cut back, and then lots of weeds between the cracks of my stones. And there is a frog in here, or a toad, that Angus, every single night, he feels like he needs to go search for. So he's been walking through here in search. That's kind of it. There's really not a whole lot else going on, except I'll show you there's the other limelight hydrangea, which looks gorgeous. Oh, I know, but I will show, and there are my Annabelle hydrangeas, which are flopping, but I like that look anyway. But let me show you what I want to do so you can see the yard. Okay, so that corner, I'm going to put another limelight hydrangea right there, because won't that look nice? And then if that is more garden, I think this whole area is going to look a lot nicer. Anyway, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will post another one soon. Okay, bye.